So tonight we're doing upper back, neck, and shoulders, as well as heart openers. So just finding your spot. Make sure you have a pillow, blanket for your neck if you need it, belt, and I think that'll be enough for tonight. If you want, you could also have, if you're using your mat, we might roll it at one point or use the rolled blanket, so your choice on that. Okay, so if you have an extra mat, or just be ready to use your mat itself. So just lie down, find your place. And legs straight or bent, your choice according to your lower back. And notice your head. So tonight we're focusing on this area a lot. Notice your head, how it feels. Notice if your chin is sticking up to the ceiling, or if it's more neutral with your heart. If it's sticking up a bit, can you tuck it down? And a lot of us will need a pillow or a blanket just under the head to get that space aligned. So just check that out for yourselves. I like blankets because you can adjust the height. And if you got a blanket, you can tuck the edges in and create a bit of a nest for yourself, which is really nice. I'm just trying to find that neutral neck. So just find that place, your legs bent or straight. And then in your own time, just bring your arms up either overhead like this or to the sides. And the other modification you might want to make is, for those of you who, when you bring your arms up, they don't go all the way back, you might want to put a pillow or a bolster behind you to bring your arms to, okay? So whatever your modification, start moving your arms either up, overhead, stretching really long through the side body, and then inhale, exhale, bring them down. Or arms to the sides, and you need a little more room for this one, so just create that space. So just decide which one feels better for you. If you're bringing your arms up to the sides, for example, you might not bring them very high if you've got some shoulder issues. Some of you have that. So just bring them to a height that feels comfortable. If you get any tingling in the fingers, that probably means you've gone too far. Once you find your pose, start focusing on coordinating breath and movement. Can you constrict the throat and add that Ujjayi pranayama, constricting the throat? Pause between inhale and exhale. So there's 4 parts to the breath: the inhale, the pause, and even a hold here after inhale, the exhale, and then a pause or even a hold after exhale. Those are the 4 parts of the breath. You might have heard of square breathing before, and that's where you extend each of those parts evenly. When you inhale, can you tuck your chin in, lengthening the back of the neck? And exhale, release that. When you inhale, maybe spreading your fingers apart, especially for those of you with arthritis in the hands. Tucking your chin in. When you exhale, relax them or make fists. Something you can bring into your practice, anything you're doing. You can play with working your hands. Spread your fingers apart as you inhale, creating space in the carpal tunnel. Exhale, contract. Make fists. And if it feels comfortable, staying in the full pose with your arms overhead, or adjust your arms to a place that's comfortable, height that's comfortable. If you want to take it up a notch, interlock your fingers, bring your arms overhead, palms away from the top of your head, stretching under the armpits, and breathe here. As you exhale, contract pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, draw everything in and up, hold, 1, 2, inhale into the chest, into the belly, exhale pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, draw everything in and up, hold, 1, 2, 3, inhale into the upper chest, middle chest, lower chest, full belly, and exhale, release the arms. Use the core from the pelvic floor up to draw your arms down. And bending your legs. You can have your knees apart or knees towards each other, whatever's better for your back. And we're going to work with the neck a little bit more now. So you're going to inhale, you're going to bring the arms up overhead to your place if that works for you. Remember, you can have a pillow or a bolster that your arms come to. And then exhale, bring one arm down and the other one stays up. And turn your head away from that top arm. So I'm going to show this seated for a minute so you can see this. So it looks like this, but you're on the floor. And then when you do the other side, it's the opposite. So I'm turning the head away from that top arm. And just breathe there. And just stay there. And if you want to add on as you exhale, try to turn the head a little bit more towards the floor. And inhale, release. Really stretching the side of the neck. So exhale, turn the nose towards the floor. And inhale, release. And switch sides at any time. Focus on the breath. And when you're ready, release the head first. Bring it to the center. Bring the arm up as you inhale. Exhale, switch sides, other arm down. Turning your head away from the top arm towards the lower arm. Now the top of the head, try to bring it more towards the top arm. And as you exhale, can you turn the nose towards the floor and inhale, release a little bit. Keep this going. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in. Inhale, expand from the chest down to the belly. Release the head. Exhale, turn the head. Draw the belly in. Chest falls. Inhale, chest to belly. Feel free to adjust where the arms are. If you have any discomfort, they can be further away from the body. They can be slightly bent. Or you can just do this pose without the arms if it's too much. And when you're ready, release the head. And when you're ready, bring both arms down. Just relax for a minute. Okay, so we're going to work on bridge pose now. And you're welcome to have a block or a pillow between the thighs if you like, or a belt on the thighs. I'm going to do this without a prop tonight. And you're going to bring your arms overhead as you do this. You're going to inhale, lift the hips up and bring the arms up and tuck the chin in. So this is an extension of what we did in the first exercise. No pun intended. And exhale, you're going to roll the spine down. Now I'm going to leave my arms up and I'm going to stretch them away from me as I roll the spine down from the top down and bring the hands down at the end. Inhale. I want you to focus on inhaling, lifting the pelvis up and lifting the chest. Coming as high as you can, tucking the chin in. And exhale, rolling down from the upper back, middle back, lower back, hips, and I'm stretching my hands away. End of the exhale, I bring my hands down. Just keep this going. Inhale, coming up. I'm focusing on breathing from my belly to my chest now. Exhale, relaxing the chest, relaxing the belly. And bringing the arms down. It's just focusing on the movement of the spine. Inhaling, lifting the hips, expanding the chest, lifting as high as you can. And exhaling, rolling down and feeling the spine from the upper back, middle back, lower back, hips roll down. Keep this going a few more times if you can. Tucking your chin in at the top. Do at least one more time, and then rest. Bring your arms down, rest. Have your feet wide, angle your knees in. Okay, so I'm going to do a counter pose for the back, and we're going to focus on the shoulders as we do this as well. So you're going to hold the knees either on top or underneath the knees. And feel how your shoulders are a little bit off the ground as you do this. As you exhale, I want you to focus on drawing the belly in, but at the same time, I want you to focus on rolling the shoulders down the back. So the shoulder blades rolling down the back. And then inhale, feel the shoulders rolling forward and the shoulder blades come up the back. So just feeling that movement of the shoulders. Especially at the end of the exhale, really drawing the shoulder blades down. And then inhale, release, and the shoulders roll forward. Feel the difference doing that with your hands behind your knees. Very different movement of the shoulders. So for those of you with some injuries in the shoulders, just see which one feels better for your shoulders with the hands under the knees versus the hands on top of the knees with the fingers pointing down. Inhale, letting the shoulders roll forward, and exhale, rolling the shoulders down, shoulder blades down. And rest a minute. The arms at the sides. Legs can be bent, or you might want to straighten them at this point. Okay, so we're going to work on rotation a bit now. We're going to do that bridge pose again, but this time we're going to do it with some arm movement, which again I'm going to show seated to make it a little clearer. So the hands are going to be at your belly, and as you inhale, you're going to bring your arms to the side with the palms facing up. And then exhale, come out of the bridge, the hands come to the belly. Now, you'll see this in a minute when I'm lying down. The elbows are going to keep stable. Next one, inhale, coming up. And the wrists are coming right out of my elbows. And exhale, the hands again to the belly. And then the third one, the hands come higher still. And exhale, hands to the belly. So I call these puppet arms because the elbows stay stable the whole time. So I try to angle the camera down a bit tonight so you can see some of these things a little better. I'm hoping you can see this okay. Inhale, arms coming to the sides with the palms up. Lift your hips nice and high, and this is giving you a big chest opener. And then exhale, coming down, bring your hands to your belly. My elbows keep stable. Next position, second position, inhale, hands, wrists coming straight out of the elbows. So to the middle position. Exhale, hands coming to the belly. Now you might get to one of these positions and your arms don't go down. So if that happens, just use the lower position. Inhale, last position, hands coming to shoulder height, elbows stay stable. Lift the hips nice and high so you open the chest. And exhale, hands to the belly. Start again. 3 positions. Keep this going your own timing. Low, middle, high position with the hands. And stretch the fingers apart as you inhale. And exhale, release. Working with any arthritis in the hands. Three positions, low, medium, high. And all this thoracic work is said to be really good for immunity, but also working with colds, with any infections in the lungs, chest. I hope none of you get COVID, but if you were, this is the kind of work that you would be doing, working with the lungs. And hopefully this gives us more immunity. Just keep this going. Now this time, if you like, you can stay in one of those positions for a few breaths and then come out of it and go to the next position. So play with that. Can you stay in one of the positions a little bit longer? Maybe tuck the elbows underneath, shoulders underneath, go a little bit higher. Just notice if one of your hands tends to curl or not be as relaxed as the other. That can sometimes indicate something going on in the shoulder or the neck. And just going into your last position, if you haven't already finished. Your hands by the shoulders, tucking your elbows underneath, lift as high as you can. And when you're ready, coming down and resting. And notice how you feel. Probably your breath feels quite different. And hopefully your chest feels more open. Okay, we're going to stretch those legs. So if you can take your belt and put it on your feet. Okay. As it gets a little twisted. All right, so just finding your legs. And inhale, pointing your toes away, and exhale, bringing your feet towards you, just stretching the legs after being bent for a while there. Inhale, legs away from you. Exhale, legs towards you, flexing the feet. Let's just do one leg at a time. I'm just going to focus on the legs and feet for a moment. So inhale, bring the leg away from you, pointing the toes. Exhale, flex the toes towards the nose. Bring the leg towards you. If that doesn't work, you can exhale, bend the knee, and inhale, straighten. So just pick one of those. The other leg can be straight or bent, your choice. See which one feels better for your legs this evening. Or you can do both like I'm doing right now. And when you're ready, switching sides. Same thing on the other side. Inhale, point the toes. Exhale, flex the toes towards you. The opposite leg can be bent or straight. Just getting into the whole fascial chain from the feet all the way to the top of the head. So we have our whole body is interconnected, and the connective tissue is linking from the feet all the way to the head. And so working with the legs and feet actually does affect the spine and all the way into the neck and shoulders. So it's always important to stretch the whole chain, the whole body. And just notice if you'd prefer to get into the hips a bit more, bending the knee, exhale, inhale, straightening. The opposite leg can be straight or bent, your choice. And then you can finish off both legs again. You can just stay in the position and rest here. You can bring your hands into namaste if you like, or hold the belt any way that's comfortable and just rest here in this semi-inversion. Heart openers we're doing are good for heart health, so physical heart, as well as emotional heart. As we just rest in the semi-inversion, the heart rate is going down. We're going into the relaxation response. Just notice the blood pressure, heart rate going down. Notice the breath slowing down. And when you're ready, coming out of it, release. Okay, so we're going to start working on moving the neck and shoulders in a different way now. So we're going to bring one hand, this is my left hand, across the heart. I'm going to massage the heart. We're going to massage the right arm, and then I'm going to twist the whole body over to the right, and I'm rolling the head rolling onto the forehead, and then I come out of it, inhale. I'm bringing that left hand along the right arm, along the heart, opening it. And then I'm going to use the other hand, my right hand, massaging the heart, and then the left shoulder, bicep, forearm, hand, and rolling to the other side to my forehead. And then inhale, massaging the left arm and coming back to the center. Just keep doing this side to side. So stretching the neck and shoulders, rolling one side at a time, and really roll on that shoulder if it's comfortable. And then coming back to the center. Now, if this feels too easy for you, you can make it harder. Just make sure you have enough space by sundialing the arm up overhead as you come to the center. And then when you go to the other side, you sundial the arm up and over. So you need a fair amount of room to do this, so make sure you have enough room. So as you inhale, the arm comes up, and then the exhale, the other arm, opposite arm, comes up and down. So you are working the hips a bit, but main focus is upper back, neck, and shoulders. So pick your medicine, just see which one feels better for you. And again, as you inhale, you can spread those fingers apart, and exhale, relax them. So you get into the fingers a bit more. And just finishing up your last round. And just finding your center. Just resting for a minute. Probably feel quite a bit of circulation in the heart area. Okay, so we're going to continue with the rotated twist. This also works with the lower back. We're going to shift our hips over towards the left, bring the knees over to the right. You might need a pillow or something underneath the legs as you open the chest. So we're doing this for the upper back tonight. So if this is too much of a stretch, that left shoulder doesn't go down, put a pillow underneath the legs, either a small or a bigger pillow. If you've got a yoga bolster, you can use that as well. So that just brings the height up a bit and easier to get that shoulder down. You can also use your blanket underneath that shoulder that you're trying to get down until it's comfortably on the ground. Okay, so just make yourself comfortable, however you can do this. And the focus tonight, rather than on the lower back, it is stretching the lower back, is going to be more that left shoulder. So I'm trying to be fairly aligned. Feeling like there's connection between, I could draw a line from my hips up to the top of my head, approximately. You want to make this harder, you can straighten one leg, the top leg, the bottom leg, or both legs. You could hold your toes. You can do that with a belt. This is the full position. I don't recommend this if you can't get your shoulder down, do not add on. If you are easily getting your shoulder down, you can add that straight leg movement and take it more into the lower back as well. It's a big stretch for the upper back as well as the lower back. Just staying here breathing. You can also do this by crossing the ankles. That's actually a really nice version. The bottom ankle on top. Now, once you have your pose, can you focus on the breath? So this is why they tell you not to eat just before you do yoga, by the way, so I hope you didn't eat a big dinner. If you did, just ease up on the twist. If you're able, as you exhale, pull up from the pelvic floor up to the belly button. Now that left arm, you might want to adjust it, play with that. Does it feel good to bring your arm along the ear, for example, or just even a little bit higher? How does that feel in the shoulder? How does that feel in the hip and the lower back? And when you're ready, coming out of the pose, whatever version you're in, come out very, very slowly. That's a big stretch. Just walk your feet back to the center, bring that arm down, take a rest in the center. It's a big stretch. Find your center. We're going to do the other side. So if you're doing it with me, bringing the hips to the right and then knees over to the left. You can add that bolster or block or pillow underneath the bottom knees. You can also put it between the knees, actually. So underneath the bottom knee, rather, not knees. Trying to get that right shoulder down. So if the shoulder's not going down, put a bigger prop underneath that bottom knee. You can also put a blanket or block underneath that right shoulder to make it more comfortable. So just prop yourself up. If you're already super comfortable, get rid of all the props and go towards the classical pose. Straightening one leg or the other. Bottom is easier. Or straighten both legs. I like to cross the ankles to help get my hip down. That's a modification. And I also like to put a belt loop on my feet so I can use that as a lever. And focus is on that shoulder, that right shoulder opening. You might be feeling it more in your lower back. That's okay. It will depend on where your tight spot is. So if you have scoliosis in particular, probably on one side you'll feel it in the upper back and the other side you'll feel it in the lower back. So all of us often will have those small imbalances. So if you feel any of those differences, just notice that. Once you've got the body in its place, move into the breath. Draw the belly in as you exhale. As you inhale, release the belly. It might feel good for you to change where that right arm is. Maybe it would feel better a little bit higher or in a slightly bigger angle up. Trying to bring that right hip down, lengthening through the right body. Some of you might be able to turn the head away from the legs towards the right by bringing the top of the head to the left and turning the head a little bit. Now just be careful, this is quite a bit of work. So if your neck is feeling strained, just skip that part. So my neck doesn't like that position, so I won't be demoing that, but if you can do that, add that in. That's the full pose. Jatra Parvati, twisting the fire of the belly. And focusing on its effects on opening the upper back, neck, and shoulders. When you're ready, releasing the pose very slowly. First the legs. And just walk those feet back to the center. We're just going to do a very simple counter after that intense stretch. It's just holding behind the knees. Exhale, bring the knees into the chest. Inhale, bring the legs to the sky. We'll just start with that. If you want to add on upper back, inhale, arms overhead to the floor behind you. Stretching as long as you can. Exhale, bringing the knees to the chest. And we're going to bring the hands by the sides, so use the core to draw the legs in rather than the hands. Inhale, bringing everything up. If you want to add on some core work, exhale, touch those toes down to the floor. And at the end of the exhale, draw the knees in with the core, pelvic floor up to belly button. Tuck the chin in at the top of the inhale, stretching the back of the neck. And exhale. The further the toes touch down, before you bring your knees in, the harder it's going to be, using from the pelvic floor up to the belly button to draw the legs in. Yoga, we call this Mula Bandha, root lock, Uddiyana Bandha, stomach lock, chin lock at the top of the inhale, Jalandhara Bandha. I'm just doing one more. And perhaps hugging your knees to your chest, holding the knees on top or underneath. Just rest here. Okay, so we're going to work with the side stretch that works both the lower back and the upper back. You're going to start in that Tadaka Mudra with your legs straight. And you're going to walk your feet over to the right in baby steps, crossing your right foot over the left. Keep the left hip down. And if it's comfortable, bring the shoulders over to the left. And if you can, fold the arms, holding opposite elbows and stretching through the left side body. If you want to intensify the upper back part of the stretch under the armpit, you can hold the wrist, that left wrist with the right hand. See which one feels better for you. If it's too much, release the arms. If it's too much of a stretch, release the arms and release the feet. Just breathing here. And when you're ready, release. Suppose you can stay quite a while, moving to the other side. Big side stretch. The lower back and the upper back. Walking your feet to the opposite side, to the left, crossing the left foot, ankle over the right. If it's comfortable, bring the shoulders also over to the left, keeping both shoulders down. The arms can just stay there, or if it's comfortable, holding opposite elbows, stretching underneath that right armpit, and opening the rib cage on that right side all the way down to the lower back. And just notice where your tight spot is. And can you breathe from the chest to the belly as you inhale? And exhale, belly to chest. As you inhale, can you feel the intercostal muscles between the rib cage expanding? You feel the ribs expanding. And exhale, settling. And when you're ready, coming out. Again, that's a pose you can stay in quite a while. Releasing, coming back to the center. And just doing a counter pose for your lower back. So you can do knees to chest, or if it's comfortable, moving into happy baby. Simple version is just holding behind the knees on the thighs. So most of us can do that at least, and my legs are up to the sky, just decompressing the lower back. If that feels comfortable, can you hold the calves? Anywhere on the calves. And if that feels comfortable, can you hold the little toe side of the feet? And you could have 2 belts or scarves and put them on your feet and hold them like this as well. So that's another option. You can't quite reach the feet, but you can always just hold the thighs. So it's quite a really good way of getting into this. You can interlock the fingers and just breathe there. Just decompress your lower back. Keep your shoulders coming to the ground. All right. So we're going to take it up a notch again before we relax. We're going to flip onto the bellies. So I want you to be really careful here, especially for those of you who get headaches, to not compress the neck when we do this. So one way to help with this pose is to put a pillow or blanket underneath the belly if you find it hard to come up. So if you find it hard to get much height here, another thing I really like to do is I like to put the feet at the wall just to connect more through the legs. So just see how this feels, usually called Sphinx pose. Some more energizing pose. But it's a nice way to opening the chest. So inhale up and then exhale, release. And I'm just relaxing my head down. Inhale coming up, and I'm working my legs so that my back is working. Those deep muscles of the back, the multifidus, are working. And I'm pressing my elbows down so my shoulders come down. So it's quite an active pose. And exhale, release. So a variation of Bhujangasana Cobra. The Cobra is all about transformation, shedding those skins, those layers, and getting to the heart of the matter, the heart of your hearts, layering off, taking away the layers, the guarding, stripping away those layers from the heart. Like a snake, sheds off its skins. Snake is an image of being strong yet soft, flexible yet firm. Attentive yet relaxed. These are the qualities we want to develop in our body and minds in yoga to create balance. When you're ready, release that and come with your head On your hands, you might want to adjust that pillow a bit. Just make sure you're really comfortable or you can get rid of it. So I've got my hands on top of each other, resting my forehead on the hands. And then I'm going to bring my hands down by my sides and turn my head to one side. Then I'm going to inhale. I'm going to tuck those toes under again. I'm going to use the wall again with my feet. So inhale, I'm going to lift up, straightening my legs too. And I'm keeping my chin tucked in. My shoulders are coming down my back. Really firmly bringing my hands down by my sides. Tuck the chin in to protect the neck and not compress the neck. Exhale, release, turn the head the opposite way. So you can look forward. It's usually taught that way, but the problem with that is it can cause headaches, that compression of the neck. So you try it with your chin tucked in. Hopefully that will guard against that. Hands coming down. Use your legs and exhale, release. Turning my head side to side as I come down. Take any break you need to. This is working on strengthening the neck and shoulders. It's also mobilizing in a more active way. After we stretched that area a lot, we're going to strengthen a little bit. Now, if this is feeling really easy, you can try bringing one hand up at a time to a salute. Variation of Shalabhasana. When you start bringing one leg at a time, I'm going to bring opposite leg up just a little bit. You can skip that part if you like. That works with more of the lower back, adding the leg piece. Same arm as leg or opposite. And I'm using the wall for my leg to just add a bit more connection and alignment. Keeping the chin tucked in. And if you're feeling up to it, you can lift both arms. And you could lift both legs. I'm just going to do both arms. And rest. Should feel a lot of energy in your upper back, neck and shoulders right now. And I'm going to get rid of my pillow for a minute. Try it without. I'm going to just do one more in the set for the upper back and the lower back. So bring the legs apart. It's called Vimanasana. It's one of my favorite poses for the upper back and the lower back. So you're going to inhale, lift up with the upper back. My chin is in, and I'm going to lift the legs as well. You could do this with a pillow under the belly still. And exhale, I'm going to draw everything to the center. So I'm bringing the hands to the forehead. They could be overhead as well. Inhale out. And then take a break. Just come down. Exhale. Inhale up. Chin in. Exhale, center. The arms could be long or in a diamond shape. Chin in. Exhale, coming out. Sorry, that was inhale and exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale, center. Inhale out. Exhale down. Inhale up. Chin in. Exhale, center. Inhale up and out, opening. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale up, head is center, legs apart. Exhale, legs together, arms together. Inhale, fly, open both. Exhale, down, release. Come back to child's pose. If this is not accessible, come to your back and bring your knees into your chest or child's pose. And in this pose, your knees can also be apart. Create more space for the belly. So just see which one works better for you right now. Stretching my arms out overhead so that I'm lengthening through the spine. Again, if this is not accessible, lie on your back. And bring your knees to your chest or happy baby. Now, if this is accessible, can you come up on your knees? If this is not, just stay on your back, and I'll give you modification in a minute. Can you bring one arm underneath the other? And then bring the other arm up. If you're on your back, just do that twist we did earlier, side to side, with the arms rolling through the upper back. So I'll just show that for a minute because you are on your back. So just do this roll through the shoulders side to side, okay, if you can't do this one we're doing right now. So on this side, if you're ready to switch, coming to the center, and then bring the other arm through. And then can you bring that top arm up and maybe even behind? And stretching that shoulder. If this doesn't feel intense enough, I'm going to show this, be careful. Okay, this is something I do in my own practice that I love, but it's not for everyone. So you lie on your belly and you bring one leg up and you bring it back. And you open that shoulder and bring the hand back. This is my personal favorite one for getting into stretching the shoulders. But be careful. So any of those variations, 3 variations, one on your back, twisting side to side and rolling the upper back, neck and shoulders side to side. 2 is putting the arm underneath the stretched cat and opening the shoulders that way, or 3, this version. If you're doing this version, please switch sides. Or if you're doing the cat needle version, putting the thread through the needle, you can do that version. So again, this one's quite intense, be careful. And when you come back to either child's pose or knee to chest pose or happy baby. Stretching the whole spine. And I'm going to give one more possibility to stay there if you like. Or if you like doing what is sometimes called puppy pose. I'm up on my knees. If you have a knee injury, this probably is not accessible. So just stay in your back stretch. Keep your hips up, your elbows are forward, and stretch under those armpits. Palms together. And you only want to be doing these stretches after you've really warmed up the body, like we have in the first part of the class. Could do this holding a block between the hands as well. You can do this standing at a countertop. Wonderful way to do this. Play with drawing the rib cage in as you exhale, and then inhale, extending. Try to keep that rib cage drawing in. When you're ready, coming out of the pose, slowly release, come back to your child's pose. And when you feel complete, move into your Shavasana relaxation. So for your Shavasana, if you have a bolster, next class I'm going to bring my bolster and blocks. So for those of you who don't have that up, you'll be able to see that. If you have a bolster, you can lie on that, so I invite you to do that. You can also take a blanket if you have one, or a rolled mat, and you can make a roll out of it. I'm just going to do a very simple one, a little mini roll. And you lie that lengthwise on your spine when you lie down. It just goes to about the base of your rib cage. So same with a rolled mat if you're using that. Let's just add a little bit of an opener. You might want to prop up your head again. Play with where your arms are. You can do those cactus arms. And just adjust until you find that comfort spot. For your lower back, feel free to put a pillow under your thighs. Or a bolster. And just find your Shavasana. Let the breath rest. You might notice quite a bit of energy moving in the head, neck, shoulders, heart areas. Inhale, am. Exhale, loved. Inhale, am. Exhale, love. already starting to increase the length of the breath. Starting to move the hands and feet. Bending one knee at a time. Rolling onto one side, your choice. Coming up to a comfortable seated position. Feel free to sit in a chair. Do a little bit of nerve flossing for the upper back, neck and shoulders, and stretching of the neck. Inhale, bringing the hands up as if you're holding a couple of trays. Your fingers pointing back. Exhale, stretch your arms to the side, fingers apart. Bring your hands back to a place where you feel your palms and your fingers. Inhale, coming back to holding those trays. Exhale, bring your hands side and tip your fingertips back. Inhale, center, holding those trays. Exhale, bring your hands side and tip your fingertips forward. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, give it a shake. Do that one more time. Inhale, holding the trays. Exhale, press your hands side, fingertips up. And bring your hands back to a place where you're feeling something in your fingers. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands side, fingertips back. Inhale, center, holding those trays. Exhale, arms side, tip the fingertips forward. And give it a shake, stretching one side of the neck at a time. If you want, you can add the hand on the head. Just try to align the head as best you can. Maybe adding the opposite arm, stretching away, stretching the side of the neck. Coming to the center, other side. Adding that top arm if you like, your choice. The opposite arm away, hand flexed. Bring the hands behind Interlock the fingers and nodding forward. Using a little bit of pressure to comfort, to stretch the back of the neck. Let's bring your head forward. Going all the way into the upper trapezius. Release. And to end with, we're going to do Nyasam, which we've worked on before. You're going to inhale, bring your thumb up, your first finger down, the thumb as you exhale, and flick. Next finger, inhale, thumb up the middle finger, pressing really hard. This is flossing the nerves, yoga style. Exhale, middle finger down the thumb, and flick. Next finger, inhale, thumb up the ring fingers. Exhale, ring fingers down the thumb. Flick. Thumb up the little fingers. Little fingers down the thumbs. Flick. Try that one more time. Inhale. Thumb up the index fingers. Exhale, index fingers down the thumbs. Flick. Thumbs up the middle fingers. Press hard if you can. Index fingers down the thumbs. Flick. Thumbs up the ring fingers. Ring fingers down the thumbs. Flick. Thumbs up the little fingers. Little fingers down the thumbs. Flick. And rest. Closing with Om Shanti. Hands at the heart. Using the voice is another way of working with the neck and shoulders energetically by opening the throat chakra, the voice. Inhale. Inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Again. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. May we have peace in our thoughts, in our words, in our actions, our bodies, in our speech, in our minds. May this peace protect us from our own negativity, any negativity from others or in our environment. May we be surrounded by this peace. Hari Om, all obstacles removed from that conscious link between us called Om. Namaste. Thank you very much. Have a great couple of weeks.